plaintiff, Jennifer Pogan, dated the defendant for 4 years. And while living together, their relationship became toxic. Jennifer claimed she and the defendant fought constantly about money and the company she kept. And she's suing him for a vet bill and the cost of a headstone. Defendant Sean Kaufman says while dating Jennifer, she was constantly having secret conversations with one specific man. Sean claims even after she agreed to stop speaking with this man, he caught Jennifer texting him. So they broke up. Sean denies owing Jennifer.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
We dated for 4 years. We decided to live together. We started a relationship while we lived together, and I realized that that relationship was not going correctly.
What was wrong?
Well, at first, Sean didn't have a job, so I decided to get a second job to support us financially in that.
Why couldn't he get one job?
Well, he just moved back from Florida, so he couldn't find.
But you got a second one after
Yes.
he came, right?
Yes. So
he had the same amount of time as you to get one job for
Yes.
you to get two. All right.
So I decided to do the 2 jobs, and I realized within that 4 years of that relationship that it was just getting too much. It was getting too toxic. It was
Like what?
getting. We would get into arguments about the financial or who I hung out with. It was just getting too much. So I decided to move back to my parents' house after that.
When did you move back to your parents?
After the 4 years, so
was
around
that?
like 2017.
All right. You all still dated after that?
Well, we talked, we hung out a little bit, but we didn't date.
Okay. So what has happened since then? 17. You all maintain a friendship?
We
Since you
tried
aren't
to,
dating?
yeah, we tried to maintain a friendship, but it just didn't work out. It wasn't, we kept on arguing about things, and it was just going down full from that.
Okay, let me hear from you, sir.
Like Jen said, the relationship started off okay. I did move back from Florida to New York after my mom had passed away. So when I moved back, I didn't, I looked for work. Eventually, I did find a job.
How long?
Only a few months, actually. So it didn't take too long to find a job. But after my mom passed away, financially, I was in a very bad situation. Jen and I had been friends before, and then when I moved back, we started dating. Things were right at first. Then I find out she's talking to another guy on the phone, a guy that also seems to have had some kind of problem with me. She had hour-long, 2-hour-long conversations in secrecy, like outside the apartment, and I had no idea what was going on. So every time I would try to discuss this with Jennifer, she would get very defensive, laid as if it was my fault. And yeah, it led to a lot of arguments. This did go on and off for a few years, and I had caught her texting the same gentleman again for about the 3rd or 4th time. And that
You saw the text?
I'm sorry? I didn't read
see
the
the
actual
text?
text. I just saw that he was texting her. So she had actually promised me that she wasn't going to talk to this gentleman anymore. So I took that as a sign of good faith, and finding out that this was still going on after a few years was a very,
She
it was
ever
a
say
betrayal.
they dated in the past or then?
No, they did not. They did not. But in my opinion is if you're in a relationship with somebody and you're living with that person and you're going to make it a point to not talk to this other person, after we're broken up, that's fine. But if this person is trying to get involved in a relationship, because she did state that he was basically bad-mouthing me and trash-talking me.
I never cheated on Sean. I never said anything bad about Sean.
What were those 2 hours about?
It was just on and off conversation about car shows or people.
That's not true.
Oh, I can't help you now.
No, that's not true. In fact, Jennifer even told me that the gentleman had some disparaging things to say about me.
Yes,
that you
but
openly admitted. Okay,
I had your back
you also
on
didn't
that.
defend me. You're not going to defend your boyfriend that you're living with. So how am I supposed to trust you at that point?
I had your back on that, though.
That's not what you told me.
Okay.
I asked you, did you stick up for me? You actually said no, and that was kind of the end of that. And that was a long conversation. And then you said, all right, I won't talk to him because I wanted to deal with it. I wanted to deal with it on my own.
Yes.
Okay? Because if
Talk
somebody
to
is
him.
going to have negative things to say about me, I'm going to stand up for myself. And you asked me not to. I said, fine, I won't say anything to him. And you promised you wouldn't talk to him anymore. And then I find out that you're talking to him at least 2 or 3 more times. Explain to me how I'm supposed to trust you after that.
Because
Doesn't
the way
work that way.
you want to handle things is not with words. You know that for a fact.
And that's even more of a reason you should have stopped talking with the man. Nonetheless, that's your way of handling things, and however it occurred, unfortunately, he says that's one of the primary reasons for you all breaking up. Did you know that?
I guess so. Yes.
You guess so?
Yes.
I can't be with somebody I don't
Yeah,
trust.
you didn't want to be with him anymore?
I was just financially, no.
Okay.
Honestly, I didn't want to support 2 people in a relationship.
Oh, you'd have had to support the other man too? He didn't work either?
He was broke too.
You gotta get some men that work.
No. I felt like I had to support Sean and myself in the relationship.
Yourself. Okay.
Yes, financially.
All right, tell me about what you're suing him for, the vet bill and the headstone.
Well, the vet bill, he was away for the car at a car show doing a job, and I had to take care of his dog, and unfortunately that dog had a seizure, so I had to bring it to the vet. And I told Sean that we're bringing to the vet, and there was going to be a bill, and since it was his dog, he said he was going to pay for that bill. That vet bill came out to $1,054. So I started paying that every month, and then it went on to my credit report because I thought it was paid for, but it wasn't.
Okay, we got the vet bill. Now what about the headstone?
The headstone, that was $2,389.
Tell me what happened.
Well, I figured that everyone deserves a headstone when they pass away. So I found out that his mom unfortunately passed, and I heard that his mom didn't have a headstone. So I told Sean, I said, all right, let's get your mom a headstone. And he told me that he was going to pay that back to me. He was going to give me that money to pay that back. So he went to go get a headstone for his mother. I haven't heard anything about my money getting back. I tried to message Sean about it. He agreed that he owes me that money. He even agreed that he was going to give me $25 a month.
Okay,
for
let me
it.
hear his side, sir.
Okay, so Jennifer never said, you know, you owe me this money. Jennifer was in care of my dog when I was away working. So I felt she would have taken it under her responsibility. Was it my dog? Yes, she was watching my dog. As far as the headstone,
What did your dog suffer from? I mean,
she was
what
diabetic.
Was it?
She was diabetic. She was she was the most adorable little thing. She was a
Okay.
little miniature pincher. She was diabetic, and then I don't know.
Okay.
We still don't know even exactly what happened. She was having seizures. She went to the vet. Yeah. She was in the vet for about 24 hours. They gave her back to us and said she was fine. That night, same thing, and she was suffering. So we went back to the vet. They wanted over $2,000 more just to look at her.
We had a little terrier, right?
Yeah.
Had a stomach problem and was throwing up, wasn't eating. Took to the vet. X-ray to look for a blockage. No blockage. That was whatever it cost, $500. Dog kept doing it. Little bitty dog laying around. Take him back to the vets. A different vet. Next thing, take it to the dog hospital. You know, there's dog hospital where you have just like surgeons and everything, X-ray technicians and everybody else. They determined that the dog had an ulcer. You know how much it costs to determine that and have it treated? $7,000.
Yep.
But that's got to get paid. Headstone.
As Jennifer said, when she found out that my mom didn't have a headstone, my mom passed away in 2012. Like I said, I moved back from Florida. I was in Florida to take care of her. My mom didn't have anything when she died, and neither did I. So it was something that I was planning on doing at some point. And Jen and I were together. She said, no, your mother deserves a headstone. Let's go. It was her idea to go and get the headstone. So we went, and even when we were in the place that designs them and everything, and I'll admit, I was crying like a 12-year-old girl. And I flat out said, I don't have the money for this. All she said was, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. She said the same thing about the vet bill. Don't worry about it. Because this was actually during a time when things were okay with us.
You missed the last 2 words, that's all.
What's that?
Right now.
Oh, right now.
See, he missed him.
Well,
You're right.
You're 100% right.
You didn't hear that part.
4 or 5 years ago, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Right now. She said, don't worry about it right now.
Okay, but okay. So now, 5 years later.
Yeah, man, why do you wait so late?
Well, I was just trying to give him time because I did walk out on him on the apartment. I was just trying to give him time to settle and
You actually
get his
walked out
everything
on me
together.
twice, 2 different apartments.
I know.
And like Mr. Useless, I was lonely, I took you back twice. So,
Well, that's because I didn't want to, I still cared about you and I didn't want
I cared
you to
about
be
you too.
homeless.
That's all well and good, but
I didn't want you to be homeless.
that's
why.
fine. And I found a way to survive because that's what we do. So yes, I'm doing fine. And I did try to maintain a friendship with her, going to car shows with her, helping her with her truck because I work in an automotive repair shop. So every time she had an issue with her truck,
wasn't asking for her money then?
nope, not once, not a single time.
Man.
And then it was only a few months ago that I randomly get a text from her, hey, we got to talk about this money. And yeah, I did say, you don't walk out on somebody and then years later ask them for money. That's not how these things work.
Let me see what you have with him agreeing to pay because you were going to read something.
And I organize a charity car show on Long Island to raise money for the American Diabetes Association. And a lot of time, Jennifer did help me with that. But never once did she say we need to straighten this out. So I figured that was the end of it, okay? And then, like I said, only a few months ago, I get a random text, we need to talk about this money.
Afternoon. I got a question for you. The money I loaned you back in the 60s. No.
I'm a 70s child, Your Honor. I'm a 70s child.
The money I loaned you for your mom's headstone, do I get that back or no? I'll do what's right, he says. Since you made sure I had a roof over my head, even though you walked out on me twice and left me to rot, you got your deals on parts because of me, and whenever you posted about them, never acknowledged my help. So stop trying to justify how much you've done for me to cover up how much you've done to me. You don't stuff someone in a garbage disposal and then say, pay me back. You'll get your GD money when I'm GD ready. And don't you, GD, bring it up to me again.
I'm a little graphic at times, Your Honor.
I can afford $25 a month. So you agreed that you would pay her $25 a month. And have you paid anything on this $25 a month?
No, we haven't had any
there?
contact since then, since those texts. I haven't seen her. And I actually, if you go further into the text, I did say, let's spend time together and show me that you actually want to be in my life, and we can move forward amicably with this. But she's made no
What did
attempt.
you say, raise that to 100?
Actually, there was no counter.
Well, you blocked me from everything.
Not from texting. You still have my number.
Yeah.
I blocked you on social media. That was it.
Sounds like a good guy to me. Saying he's going to pay you. He's mentioning his grievances, but he's also mentioning the way he's going about it to that last couple sentences.
That's why you.
Judgment for the plaintiff. He agreed that he would pay you $25 a month. That to me is an acknowledgement that he owes you. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Thank you. Honestly, I'm nothing. I'm just gonna go my own separate way. I'm sorry that I went like this. I hope you have the best in your future.
Well, basically, I feel the same way. We've had zero contact since, New Year's Eve. I haven't seen you.
Plaintiff Robert Counterman says he briefly dated the defendant in 2000, and they have a beautiful 18-year-old daughter, despite the defendant's claim that she couldn't have kids. Robert is suing his ex today for an overpayment of child support and a loan. Defendant Christine Rokicki says although she's grateful for her daughter, dating Robert was the biggest mistake of her life. Christine claims although they do co-parent, Robert is constantly putting her down, and she denies owing him for anything.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
Hi, Judge Mathis. It's nice to see you again.
Again?
Yeah.
You were here before in front of me?
Oh, it's been a while. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You so happy?
Yeah. No, I just prefer not to get taken advantage of.
Okay, good enough. Came to the right place. Give me some background on your relationship.
All right. I met the defendant in 2000. We started dating. And at that time, she already had 3 kids. I didn't have any. And she told me she couldn't have any more kids. Now, if she...
That's not true.
And if we're going to do this thing where she talks louder and faster than me, I can't compete with that. I'll just let you know.
Okay, I'll stop her.
Okay. All right, so what I'm saying is if she had been honest about that, about not being able to have any more kids, then I would have been cheated because I wouldn't have my lovely daughter. Now she's all grown up now. She's
Beautiful.
18, grown up to be a beautiful, intelligent, thoughtful young lady.
Beautiful.
And she's
Now,
going
did you all raise her together in the same household or not?
No, my daughter's always had 2 homes. I wanted to do the right thing. I wanted to marry her and everything, and she said she'd already been down that road. She didn't want to do that. So that's fine, but we managed to raise a lovely daughter.
Good.
And she's going to college. And she works real hard.
You know, I was on my mind. She's a great daughter. Did she advance her education? I don't always suggest college. Advance her education beyond high school. She's not getting hired with livable wages without something beyond the high school diploma. So it's good to hear she's in college. And why did you break up? You all started out in 2000. When did you break up and why?
We were never together other than that very brief period in the beginning. And,
okay.
We just were on different paths, totally not compatible.
You give me some background, ma'am.
Well, dating Robert, that definitely was one of the biggest mistakes of my life.
Why?
Well, he did give me a beautiful daughter, but
You said
I met
you
him-
tricked him into it.
I'm sorry?
You said you tricked him into it.
That's not true. I did
Well,
say,
he's glad you did, he said.
as a joke, I said I probably can't even get pregnant anymore. I was 41 years old.
Okay.
And we met in 2000, and we only dated a short period of time before I did get pregnant.
How
I
long?
actually, I would say 2 months,
Okay.
3 months. And I actually broke up with him before I even knew I was pregnant.
Why?
Just because, like he said, we were just not compatible.
Got it.
He wanted to tell me a little bit what to do and what not to do, and you know,
That's
I was
why you left the last husband,
right.
right?
Right.
I tell you what to do. Yeah. Tell him it's a new day.
Yes,
Nobody
yes.
going for that anymore. That's why your ex-husband got thrown out. That's what I was saying. So you threw him out. Then you come in there with the same mess. Or you didn't warn him?
No.
You should have warned him. All right, go ahead. And when you all were together those few months, you got along, but you were not compatible.
No. And
right.
I was really, I was embarrassed. I was pregnant. I was 41. I was already a grandmother. I was Catholic. And what was my mom going to say of all things? I even considered at one point, I didn't consider it, but in the back of my mind, I thought maybe I should just hide this pregnancy from him because that's how bad I did not want him in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew that was not the right thing to do, you know, for the child. And it wouldn't be fair to him as well.
And you all got along all during her years 1 through 18?
No.
What was going on? He acted as if everything was smooth.
Oh, he's just always been very, very critical of me. You know, just says nasty things all the time. I mean, puts me down all the time. And, you know, you need a head checkup from the neck up. And he said he'd hate me, and then that night he'd come with flowers. A flower. And
To make up.
yeah, well, he would just to say sorry for saying all the mean things he
Correct.
says.
Sir, what are you suing her for? Overpayment of child support.
Yeah, so I got a letter in the mail from the Child Support Enforcement Agency saying that I overpaid in the amount of $1,200.17.
When did you get that? Let's see it.
Okay, I got that on December 28th, 2018.
Okay. And you didn't want to waste your time calling her, asking her to give it to you.
I tried to work this out with her several times.
That's why I said it wasn't worth it.
Right, you're
You
right.
wasted your time.
It wasn't wasting my time. You got that right. As with most things involving money, I've never seen anything like it.
Like what, sir?
When it comes to money, her brain doesn't work right.
Yes, it
don't
does.
know-
I need it. I want it. You got it. Give it to me. That's a good way to brain work.
So you understand what's hers is hers, what's mine is hers, what's yours is hers, what's Doyle's hers. It's all hers. So,
Do you know my wife? Is that where she gets this from? Go ahead.
so that's why
Well, her and the kids on everything. My 3-year-old grandchild. Everything she refers to is grandma's.
No.
We're going to grandma's house? We driving grandma's car?
My car.
I want to ride in that car, grandma's car right there. We're going to Chicago to grandma's apartment. Everything's grandma, so
that's great.
I understand. They got my granddaughter programmed already. I don't have nothing. I said, Granddad has something, don't he? Nope. No. She said that part, but all right, tell me, you say she is like my wife and my granddaughter, everything is theirs and we're nothing but chumps. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just, it's
I'm
all,
a chump. I don't want to call you a chump, but I'm a chump for real. Go ahead.
I try to keep this horrible nastiness away from our daughter as much as I could, but it's always been about money, and it's always me pay for everything over and over again, to the point where I paid the support, then I bought stuff, and then there was even one time she's having a garage sale selling the stuff I paid for twice, and it was too sentimental, so I bought it again from the garage sale.
So you paid for it 3 times.
Right? And
And you got my wife beat.
here's,
All right.
I don't need a medal for doing my job.
She does chase me down for money. Another story. I just got to get her back. And I tell her all the time, you know I'm on national television. You do me wrong, I'm going to get you back in front of millions of people. This is like 2 months ago. I'm in the bedroom. It was like $2,000 on the bed. And I'm always broke. I never have more than $20, $40. My security will tell you I borrow $20 from him every week. So, I said, $2,000. I said, okay. Me and my wife, so I guess I can just get it 200. 200. Grab 200. And it was left. I had a buddy with me. We went and left. Getting ready to go. She come charging out of the house. Did you take $200? Did you take $200? I said, yeah, I don't have any money. I have $0. That's my money. That's my money. I just gave her 200 back and got 100 from my guest, from my out-of-town guest. So I had to borrow money from my out-of-town guest. Instead of treating him to dinner, he tried to treat me because my wife came charging out over $200.
That's great.
True story.
Oh my God.
All right. So what did you say about the child support, ma'am?
Well, when Claire moved out, first of all, you know, $1,200 over the course of 17 and a half years, he'll say that he has had her 50% of the time. He's had her every other weekend for 17 and a half years.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
So,
If I may, can I remind her where
Let
the
her
place?
finish, and then I will let you.
and when Claire she wanted to go stay with her dad when she was 17 and a half, she went to stay with her dad, and she took the child support card with her. I never saw it again. I never touched it again. I didn't spend that money. I didn't use that money. He let her use that money as she wished. So I should not have to pay that. I did not spend it.
Quite frankly, the law on this is distasteful, but it is accurate. How a woman know whether she's getting too much? You give me an extra 2 months, I'm not keeping, you might keep count, but I don't know if you've given me too much or not. The child turns 18 in April. All right, the checks aren't cut off until June. Okay, so I've spent all that, and I'm assuming, hey, maybe that's the way it goes. They give you 2 last checks at the end of the support. Who knows? So, yeah, I'm not calling you either and saying, hey, I got 2 extra checks. Should I give this back? I'm not sure what I should do with this. I know she stopped in April, but these checks are from June and July, and I really don't think you owe that. I think I need to give that back to you today. You thought that might happen?
Yep.
Okay. So that's the problem here. We have an unrealistic view.
And Your Honor, the one magistrate that said they didn't have jurisdiction over this said it was a clear-cut case.
It is.
She was unjustly enriched.
It is. That's what I'm saying. It's distasteful, but it is. It's a clear-cut case, ma'am. This is the law.
And the
you have
child's-
something that says you owe, and you don't have anything where he says he's giving you a pass on it, and you have nothing from Child Support Services that amends this. So if you would like, you can go back to the local Child Support Services and give them this, but I can't change what they order. All I can do is enforce it. But
Well,
that's 12. Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, we had a pending court case back in Toledo, and it was, what do you call it, extended or, continued it because it was not a settled case.
They wouldn't have printed this if it was continued, man. Do you have any evidence of that continuance? They give you documents when they're continuing. Now, sir, what is the $100 for?
I don't think I have it.
Well, that's for school fees, which the defendant agreed to pay
She told
me
you she
half.
would repay you school fees?
Right.
And did you agree to give him back the $100 for the school fees?
Well, he was court ordered to pay for her medical insurance, which he has not paid. And so when he already owed me way above that amount, he already owed me money. He did
Okay,
not.
so-
it was a court ordered support
for the
health insurance.
correct, but we're talking the fees. Did you agree to repay him?
I did.
Okay, we'll have to stick with that. And let's see if they adjourned it for future consideration.
I don't think those are the proper documents.
Judgment for the plaintiff, based on the proof that I have from the court and based on your admission that you agreed to the $100. With regard to the medical bills that he owes for, you have to sue him to get that back. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
I was just hoping this would be the last time I ever had to deal with him, but I guess we have to go to court for the health insurance.
I wish you well, but you're not getting any more of my money.
Plaintiff James Gant dated the defendant, and things were good until James got a job. James claims after he started making his own money, the defendant tried to control his every move. And he's suing her today because she burned everything he owned. Defendant Jaleesa Jackson says things with James went downhill after she caught him cheating. Jaleesa claims things went from bad to worse after she discovered that James continued to cheat. And she's countersuing for unpaid loans for rent.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
Well, I met Jaleesa in September of last year. We had a great relationship. It was just like any other relationship in the beginning. Everything was great. I went and stayed with her in January for a week. Everything went great, so I moved in with her in February. Everything was good and great till I got a job and started getting my own money. And then I had to check in everywhere I went. She wanted to know everywhere I was going. She'd pop up an hour away just to pop up and see if I'm supposed to be where I would say I was going to be. It was just wild, Your Honor.
Why do you think? You never aroused any suspicion?
I mean, she had to work the weekends. I didn't. You know what I mean? So I go to my auntie house. Like I said, I moved in with her, and it was an hour away from where I'm from, so I would go back up there on the weekends just to visit my
Stay
family.
overnight?
Yes, sir.
As opposed to driving an hour?
Yeah, just for going back
In
and
LA,
forth.
it takes me an hour to get to the airport.
Yes, sir.
So should I spend the night there?
You could. You could. You
My
could.
wife is going to take an hour to get to the airport, so I don't think I'm going to come
I mean,
home.
I didn't want to spend the weekends in
For
the
a
house
couple
while
of
she was
days.
at work. Well, I didn't want to be in the house on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday by myself while she go to work. Where she stays, there's nothing to do. I mean, it's the country.
Okay. Let me hear from you, ma'am, about your relationship.
I met James in September of last year. We've been dating for about a year. Everything was all fine and dandy in the beginning until I caught him cheating.
Ah, there you go.
Did she catch me cheating, Your Honor?
That's when all the checking up
Yes.
started.
Did she catch me
wanted to see
cheating,
if
Your
he
Honor?
had stopped his wicked ways.
Yes, sir.
Tell me how that went down.
Mr.
I knew it
James.
wasn't nothing about no hour. So I was about to tell Doyle to tell my wife I ain't gonna be home tonight. I don't feel like making that 1 hour drive from the airport.
Yes, Your Honor.
See how that work out.
Yeah, right.
I'll be wearing half a robe.
Yeah.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Well, I have 2 phones. I have one that is personal and one that I keep home in case for an emergency for my kids. Mr. James decided that he wanted to text his little friend on my phone while I was at work. So I called the female and asked who she was, and she told me that her and James had been dating for about a year. And when I confronted him about it, he denies even knowing who the person was. He said that she was just a friend of one of his friends, and that's basically how it went.
Sir, you told me you never aroused suspicion. That means she never even accused you of cheating. She said she actually caught you, or she suspects.
Okay.
Therefore, you
Did she
did
catch me
arouse her
cheating?
suspicion.
Did she catch me cheating? No, she didn't. And
That's
that
it.
phone number, that was my homeboy phone number, you know what I mean? He just stayed with her, you know what I mean?
Okay. Actually, did you cause suspicion, or did you arouse
Suspicion could be anything.
Right. That's why I said that you do it.
Well,
Because it could be anything.
Yeah.
And you did a lot. So it could have been any one of those things.
anyone.
Because you were doing too much.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Way too much.
Was he paying his share of the bill?
No, Your Honor.
You weren't even paying your share of the bill,
Boy,
she said.
I gave her $600 a month, Your Honor. Every time I
the
get,
bill,
every
and
Friday
the
I got.
monthly bills were $3,000.
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. I can give you a
A
breakdown.
little more than $1,200.
No, sir. She sent me
The
a text.
entire household bills were no more than $1,200 per month.
Okay,
That is whether it's rent, lights, gas, cable. None of that amounted to over $1,200 a month.
Probably 11 at the most.
1,100.
11 at the most.
Girl, I need you all's bills. Everybody,
Yeah, right.
everybody wants
Hey,
those
she
bills.
sent me a text message.
$1,100 a month.
She sent me a text message after I'm giving her $600 a month. She sent me a text message saying we're gonna split everything down the middle. That's how smart she is. Rent, $625. Light bill, $250. Water bill, $100. That don't equal up to $600 in my eyes.
All right, let me get to his claim of property, though. Tell me what happened with the property.
Okay, well, after I came
bleached
home.
it?
No, she burnt it, Your Honor.
Oh,
That was your second guess.
This is what I got
number
left.
2. That's a,
This is what I got left. Out of everything I own, this is what I got left.
Everything, sir.
Everything I own, Your Honor. This is what I got left. And not including the
Could've been
clothes.
no more than 2 pair of pants, sir.
That's just what I got out the pile. I'm not including the clothes. I mean, she burnt up my grandmother's rings that I was gonna give my daughter, my grandmother's earrings, my yearbooks, my diploma. I don't
You
even have a
burned the man's
diploma.
stuff?
Yes, I did.
Let's finish up the party. It's a wait and exhale party. Remember that movie?
Yeah.
Let's have a party. Wait and exhale. Woo! Woo! It's a party!
Everything.
You know you're cheating on that woman, coming here with that nonsense. Man, what do you say? You do have to pay, though. You can't burn the man's stuff up and not pay. And I'm not paying half. All I did is throw it up in the air. I have nothing. I'll pick it up and put it back together if you want. Ma'am,
Yes,
what
Your Honor.
happened?
Well, I have text messages here.
Party's over. Now it's time to pay the bill. You know
Yeah.
how people, you have a party, you got to pay the bill.
I paid my bill
Yeah.
before I went to party, sir.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Tell me what happened in this instance.
Basically what he said. I burnt all this stuff up.
I know. Under what circumstance?
The whole cheating.
I'm trying to let you claim temporary insanity or something.
Well, the
Because
day
of the
that
cheating?
the day that it happened, the same female that he had been cheating with, she had called his phone. I had confronted him about it, and he just decided that he wanted to storm off. That's the wrong thing to do. You never walk off from a woman when she's trying to talk to you. And he had been gone for
She got
about.
physical too. That's why I walked off. I don't hit women.
He had been gone for about 30 minutes. So I said, okay.
And you're exactly right, sir. You do that, and you're exactly wrong. You do walk off on a woman, a man does, when she appears to be getting too heated, because it could lead to domestic violence. So you did right, and I'm glad you did. And you did wrong, and you're gonna have to pay for this damage you caused. Your counterclaim for $2,800 for unpaid loans. How does he owe you?
We had a verbal agreement that we would
No,
split the rent in
No,
half
sir.
for $350,
Okay.
and he hasn't given me anything since January.
I didn't even stay with you
Since January?
Since
I didn't stay with her January. I moved
He moved in at the
February.
end of January.
Okay, so have you given her something since
I
February?
gave her $600 a month, sir.
Since February?
$200 a week.
How
Every
did you do
Friday
it?
I got paid. I gave her $200. Every
He
Friday
gave
I
me
got
what
paid.
he wanted to give me when I had to beg for it. I feel like I shouldn't have to
Did
beg.
I give it to you?
Not the whole $600 every month.
You said he paid you nothing. though.
Thank you.
He didn't.
Catch yourself.
You
up.
just said you had to beg for it.
I gave
You're
her
laughing now.
$600
I
a
know.
month.
I know you're laughing because you know
she
you
said
got
I
caught in
moved
that
in
lie.
January.
Now, be quiet.
Yes, sir.
Can't you hear when you're about to win?
Yes, sir.
Now, you better walk off on me like you walk off on her and take your money with you. $3,200 for the property damage she admits to. Your claim is dismissed. You started out saying he gave you nothing. By the end of that statement, you were saying you had to beg him for what you did get. Your claim dismissed. Yours is granted. Have a good day.
I'm glad the judge saw right through you and that I owe you anything. I didn't touch nothing of yours. I didn't burn nothing of yours.
Plaintiff Kimbrell Robinson says her boyfriend has a child with the defendant. And ever since they started dating, the defendant has been trying to fight her. Kimbrell claims she has text messages from the defendant asking to fight, and she's suing her today for emotional distress and stolen property. Defendant Karina Stevens says when she first met Kimbrell, her child's father told her that Kimbrell was his gay roommate. Karina's countersuing because she claims after her ex punched her in the face, Kimbrell hit her in the eye with a brick.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
I met the defendant, Karina Stevens, when I had first started dating Bobby Noblin, which is her baby's father. Karina knew about the relationship after she had came over on one day trying to bring the baby over, and she saw me sitting in the front room.
That's false, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll let you talk. Let her finish.
She came into the front room, saw that me and my friend were sitting there. She was supposed to have been dropping off the baby or whatever items that she had for the baby. She saw that I was there. She took off her shoes, took off her jacket, laid inside of the bed. Bobby was trying to get her to leave, but to no effort she left or anything. So my friend and I, we decided to leave. So the next day when I came back, Bobby explained to me how recent they had just broken up, how recent everything was with the relationship and everything like that. He had ended up going to jail on June 28th. And I left the premises because I was actually still living with my mom at the same time. I did not know their situation or anything. I did not know that at the time she was a foster kid and didn't really have nowhere. Well, she does have somewhere to go because she's a foster kid. I did not know.
How old are you?
I'm 20 years old.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So because I didn't know that situation and because I was so new to the relationship and by them having a small baby and she being inside of the house, I just let the situation go the first time and just, okay, yeah, you can stay there. Let me get my stuff out of the apartment and everything. I got all of my things. A couple of months passed and this October, the night that it started, Friday, October the 4th, around like 8 or 9 o'clock that night, she had texted my phone, but she had been already talking to Bobby that day, trying to get him to come to the aid office to take Bright off of his link card account. He didn't want to do it. She texted my phone saying that I should get him to go to the aid office so that they could get that problem situated, and then go on to say, by me being his girlfriend, what am I doing to make sure that he's doing what he needs to do for himself and Bright? Yes, we keep her, but what else do we do? The next day she came over, she brought the baby and everything. He told me to stay inside of the house because they were having an argument over the phone anyway. He told her that he was going to come outside to treat her and whoever else was inside of the car. So when he went outside, they started talking, they started arguing and everything. I did what my boyfriend said, I stayed inside of the house. Now, an incident where they was talking and stuff, he was trying to get the baby from her. She kept
pulling the baby away, like, let me kiss my baby, let me kiss my baby, let me take her in the house, let me take her in the house. She already knows that Bobby doesn't want her inside of the house because of how she is. She has a bad temper. She's been trying to fight me since the first time she met me. I have the screenshots and everything from that.
Hand me what you have. As long as it's only a couple pages. All right, let's see it.
Okay, that's the beginning of it right here.
Okay. Go ahead.
She had been trying to fight me. I was throwing off the little situation and everything because I'm 23 years old. I'm in school and everything, and I was working as well. But at the same time, I knew that, like, that wasn't what I had time to be doing. So I told her, like, okay, yeah, fighting you would be nice, but you're the type of person you wouldn't even learn. You'll keep antagonizing me, and you'll keep coming back for more and more each time and stuff. So when all of this happened on October the 4th and everything, and she came over, they fought and stuff.
Who fought? When they were fighting
Yeah,
each
when
other.
they were fighting and stuff. My neighbor, she came in, she was like, you need to go get him. So I go outside, I put on my clothes and everything, grab my house keys and everything. I lock the door because Karina is known for whenever Bobby leaves the door open, she runs back in the house and try to stay in the house, lock herself in the bathroom, call the police, try to get him locked up because she crazy. She doesn't accept the fact that he's moved on and doesn't want her. So
let me allow her to give some background,
Okay, thank
and then we'll get back October 4th. We'll catch back up there.
Okay.
Ma'am?
Hello, Your Honor. I know Miss Robinson, like she said. One day I went over there to drop off my child, and her friend was there. My baby father lied and told me that this was his gay roommate. After that, me and her had a few disputes back and forth.
About what?
Just him. He was telling us both lies.
How did you get to talk with her, though?
When he went to jail in June, she asked
before that.
I'm
you
saying
didn't
when
talk
I first
with her
met
before he went to jail?
No.
Okay.
Well, briefly, because she was asking me to come to the house to get her stuff, which I allowed her to do. Me and her was staying in his house.
That's the first time you talked with her is when she said, I'd like to come and get my things?
No, we had.
That's what I'm saying. Tell me the first time you talked with her. How did that go?
We had a few disputes.
About what?
Her and him, them being together.
How? You called her or she called you?
She added me on Facebook, so it started from there, I guess.
No, you said you all spoke. You had disputes between each other.
Yes.
Somebody has to initiate a dispute.
The first time I met her, I did go off.
There you
I
go.
did go off. I'm being truthful. I
so
did
you
go off.
started disputing with her time you met her. Now what? Go right ahead.
I was disputing with her because at the time me and him was trying to make things work. But then he lied to me and said this was his gay roommate. And he had her and her friend over there. So basically, without all the disputing, me and her came to a resolution to get along for the sake of my child. We ended all the BS. She was picking up my child from daycare. On October 4th, I went to his house because he called me and asked for his child. I went over there to drop off the child. He got upset because I had someone in the car with me, a male. So he started going off, calling me all types of B's and H's and all that other stuff. He proceeded to punch me in my face. I then called the police. When she heard me call the police, she came outside and she said, you should have let me beat this beat up the first time. So that's when she grabbed my daughter and he grabbed the bags and went to his house.
When was this?
This was October 4th.
Okay.
They go to the house. I followed them because at that time he assaulted me and I wanted him to go to jail. Yes.
So you were police on the side?
No, I was
Well,
just
how
on
do
the
you
phone.
follow him to do what?
Because he's a runner. He gets away from the police.
I said, well, so you were going to do better than the police could do. He gets away from the police, so that's why you decided to go after him. Right? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so
go ahead.
I followed them into the house. Me and him get to fighting again. That's when me and her start fighting. She jumps on me with him, and she ends up hitting me in my eye with a brick. And I have the documentation on that.
I haven't stitched
and I have the medical report.
And what did the police? Did they arrest her?
The police arrested her and him.
And was she prosecuted?
Yes, she was.
And convicted?
And all charges are dropped.
No, the
wasn't
court date is
convicted?
coming up. No, the court date is coming up.
Were
they dismissed or not? Were they dismissed or are they
The
pending?
battery charges were dismissed.
Do you have anything to show that?
I lost the paper from when I had got out of jail.
Got it.
But I do have.
All right. What's your counterclaim against her?
Since me and her were both staying in the same house, she
We
had
were
stuff
not
there.
staying in the same house.
She had stuff there. I had stuff there. She took all my child's information from when she was first born because she said my baby father told her to. And the emotional distress is from how my eye looked. My daughter started crying, my 1-year-old, when she seen my eye and pointed to it and wasn't very happy.
Did you tell your daughter you like to fight?
No.
And that you initiated fights and that you followed him over there to start fighting?
No.
You didn't tell her that part? No. Tell her that too, so she'll know why. And she'll know not to do what mommy does. Because mommy on her text, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is in August, 5, let's fight. Let's fight. You big and you're mad. Fighting you would be nice, but no. But you're the type of bee that don't learn, so I have no time to waste. That's what she's saying to you, and all you keep saying is let's fight. This is in August. Yet in October, you're talking about this event that you're referring to, or this violent act where you start fighting with the father of your child on the street. He leaves. You then start another fight. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Thank
your
you,
claim
Your
is
Honor,
dismissed.
so much. Thank you. I love you. You can take off my shirt as well, Karina, because you got that on. You look dirty.
Whatever
take
you
off my
say,
shirt, baby.
whatever you say. My child still won't be around you.
Fine.
Where the restraining order is? Where the restraining order is?
It's off. It's dropped, baby.
It's not dropped.
It's
You know
my
we have
address.
court.
My landlord knows I
court.
live there.
Yep, you won't be around my child.
I don't want to be around your child if I have to deal with you, baby.
Oh, well,
I'll let
you're
Bobby
still
deal
there.
with her
You're at
6
Bobby's
months
house.
to a year
You're
from
at
now.
Bobby's house, though. Have a nice life.
You're sad.
Plaintiff Shondell Clark dated the defendant off and on for 2 years, but he claims she has anger issues. Shondell's suing his ex because he claims she vandalized his property, and he has the pictures to prove it. Defendant Abby Lloyd says while dating Shondell, she went through his Apple Watch and realized he was cheating on her with multiple women, and these women were also giving him money. Abby insists she didn't damage any of Shondell's property.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Sir, you're suing your ex-girlfriend for $368 for damaged property?
$3,680.
You don't deserve no $3,680. I give you $368, like I said. Take that and go with it. Keep it moving. All right, sir, $3,680. While I'm in a good mood, I want to congratulate my dear friend and brother here. He has a new member added to his household. It's a beautiful baby boy. I was very privileged to receive
Oh, there he is.
one of the
They got him on
first
the
pictures. Yeah. Beautiful baby boy, isn't it?
He's a handful.
Yeah, I bet you wish you looked like that when you was born. Yeah, he's a handful.
Oh, yeah.
All right, tell me some background about your association with the defendant.
Me and Abby have been on and off dating for about 2 years. We were good, here and there, but, she's got some anger problems, and that just stopped me from talking.
What were the problems?
If you can't tell, she's cut up a lot of my property. I got pictures right here showing more.
For what? What'd you do? You did something.
Well,
She just didn't
due
go
to that,
crazy for nothing.
Yeah,
What'd you do to her?
I was talking to other people because her anger, man, it's just her anger problems are just
You
bad.
was messing with other women?
Yes, I was.
Well then, she thought she was gonna give you a party? Yeah, she
No,
did,
sir.
a waiting to exhale party. I've said that before. Y'all know the movie, Waiting to Exhale, where the woman, Angela Bassett, burned up all the man's clothes when he come home. She's one of the greatest actresses of our time.
Absolutely.
Isn't she? Ma'am, give me some background on this.
Yep, we have been dating on and off for about 2 years now, and I don't have anger issues, problems. I found out he was cheating on me, but I had suspicions.
Were you all living together, obviously?
Yep, he was at
And
my
he
house.
said it was up and down. Were
It's
there?
my lease. I paid for, he doesn't have a car. He was using my car. I paid for all the food. I let him
Not
use my
true.
car.
He didn't have a job?
Not true.
Not when we first got back together.
Not true.
Nope. He didn't have a cell
paid
phone
for a lot.
on.
What were you all falling out about for the most part? He said it was up and down.
Because one time he came home with a hickey on his neck and he said he slept on his Apple Watch.
That's a lie. Definitely wasn't that. But
Me just, glancing over on his phone.
Told you
be
that?
Like,
You're making me mad telling you some mess like that. Got a hickey on your neck. What else?
He would just make me feel crazy and just tell me no, all that suspicion of him cheating was all lie. And then one day when he told me he was going on a boat with his family, which I still don't know if it's true or not.
Yep, I was gone to a lake house with my family.
He left his Apple Watch at my house, and he told me his password, and it was going off, so I went on it, and I saw everything. He was sleeping with multiple other females. He had
Not true.
multiple other girls cash-apping him over hundreds of dollars. He...
Doing a little lightweight gigoloing.
yeah.
Lightweight, for sure. Go ahead.
He would use my
That's
card.
baby money you getting. Go ahead.
He would go use my card to go to their houses. He would also have them go up to my apartment when I wasn't there.
Never in my life did I do that, Your Honor.
So why did she do it?
No, I never had anyone at her house. Never.
Oh, so she
never.
was
That's
delusional.
That's a total lie.
Okay, she
Never
was
had-
delusional when she made up all these things.
Oh no, she's right. No, I'm admitting to some of this stuff, but having someone at her own place, no, I did not.
Okay.
Maybe
All
not
right.
go inside my place, but pick him up there or
Nope.
outside my place?
Nope, never.
Yeah, you did give my address out.
And you all are how old?
I'm
You
22.
look relatively young.
I'm 25.
25? So yeah, it's about 3 more years before he's ready for an exclusive relationship, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's not grown yet.
Young men, in high school or whatever point, puppy love, whatever you want to call it, teenage love, young adult love. But what happens is at some point, that young adult, even if you high school exclusive, 19 exclusive, 20 exclusive. So you've been with the man from 17 to 23, a young man. I can tell you, maybe you ladies, you can get mad at me if you want. I'm trying to give you the truth. These 23-year-old young boys ain't exclusive with you for several years. They're not ready until about 28. So I think that's part of the problem, ma'am.
I agree.
Yeah, he wasn't
Now I gotta
ready.
look for someone that's 28.
Pardon?
I gotta look for someone that's 28
There you
now.
go. There you go. All right.
Also,
Without an Apple Watch.
Without an Apple Watch?
Yeah, but I also have some.
Own house.
I also have some text messages between me and her, telling me that she slept with one of my teammates that I play softball with.
Ooh, let's see that. You need to be 28 too, then. All I can speak for is young men.
That was when we were separated.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, see, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
You hit him under the belt with this.
Yeah, exactly.
Say the other guy is more endowed than him.
That hurts.
And of course, she didn't say it in that language. Ouch. He played it off, huh? Oh, I mean, if that's what you want to do, Abby, go ahead. She says, been done.
Fair enough.
Tell me what you're suing her for, sir.
I'm suing her for $36.80.
You cold, man. You cold.
This is all the stuff that she cut up right here. Here's all.
Let's see it.
Yeah.
Tell me
all the
about-
way down to the socks.
As I look, tell me about, you're suing her for all the damage
All
to
the
your
damage.
property here. Woo. You have a list?
I believe it's in there. Yeah, I believe it. The list is in there somewhere within that.
You do it. Yeah, she went to town on you. And see, the reason I'm saying that about age, also, young people don't handle their emotions very well. And that's what you saw. She was hurt and didn't handle those emotions well. And
facts.
so,
Your Honor, can I say that I did not cut those things up as much as I would have loved to and cut up more items on him, but
who did it?
Yeah.
it could have been multiple of his other girls.
No.
They weren't mad at him?
No, I was actually away when my cousin actually went to go pick it up at her house when she sent me a text message.
Is that true?
What I sent him at 1 a.m.
Was not.
And then
was not that
3 a.m.
picture.
he opened it and called me.
Let me see.
Let's see it, please.
It was. If it's not next to a garbage can, that's not the picture.
Well, ma'am, the problem is if you threw some of them out or tore some of them up, then the presumption is you did it all.
Yeah.
Your S is where it belongs. You threw her stuff in the trash.
No, that is.
Well, whatever happened, she threw it in the trash.
Yeah, but that's not her house. That's what I'm saying. That it was next to the garbage can. She has the garbage cans along her back wall, and it was all in bags and stuff. Blue
Okay.
bags, actually.
And this isn't her house at all?
Let me see.
I live in an apartment complex.
Oh, okay. Let me see this.
You've interrupted me.
Oh yeah, that's it.
So you did all that
I
interrupting?
just couldn't see it, sir.
You
It
go
was-
again, talking over me.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry, sir.
Don't talk over the judge.
You're right.
All right. And he provides me with pictures, ma'am, and you want me to believe that you did some but not all. And I'm not going to believe that. I'm going to grant him his judgment. I believe you did it all. $3,680 is your judgment. Have a good day.
Very good. Well, you're crazy, and good luck to you. I mean,
Good luck, Sean.
thank you.